You have carried it for so long. My child, haven't you? The immense, invisible, and crushing weight of unsettled accounts. You have walked through a season of profound injustice, a time where you were wronged, where your name was maligned, where your heart was betrayed, where your goodness was met with deceit. And you have watched as the scales of earthly justice seem to remain hopelessly, cruelly tipped in favor of the falsehood, the wrongdoer, the lie. They may have walked away, seemingly unscathed, their laughter echoing in the halls of their apparent victory, while you are left to carry the heavy burden of the unresolved, the unvindicated, the unseen. You have cried out to me, perhaps in the silence of your room, presenting the clear and painful evidence of the wrong, and you have been met with a divine silence that has felt, at times, like indifference. You have begun to believe that the accounts will never be settled, that the wrong will never be made right. But listen to me now, my beloved. Lean in close and still your aching heart, for I speak a word of profound and sovereign power into your reality today. The season of your patient, faithful endurance is drawing to a close, and the time of reckoning is upon you. I know the specific anatomy of this weight you carry. It is a weight of unacknowledged truth. You have held the truth of what happened in your heart, a clear and shining reality, while the world has accepted, or has been blind to, a prevailing lie. To know the truth and to see a falsehood prosper is a unique and agonizing torment. It can make you question your own sanity, your own perception. You have held up the light of your truth, only to see it seemingly swallowed by the immense darkness of deceit, of denial, of a world that did not want to see. This has been a profound and lonely burden, to be the sole keeper of a truth that no one else seemed to recognize or to honor. It is also the weight of unanswered injustice. You have seen those who have wounded you move on, seemingly without consequence, perhaps even prospering, while you have been left to deal with the rubble, the pain, the aftermath of their actions. The human soul, which I created in my own image, has an innate, divine longing for justice, for balance, for things to be made right. When this longing is perpetually unmet, when wrong seems to triumph over right, it creates a deep spiritual dissonance, a painful sense of living in a universe that is morally out of order. You have yearned for the scales to be balanced, for the wrong to be acknowledged, for righteousness to prevail, and the continued absence of this justice has been a heavy weight upon your spirit, a source of profound weariness and sorrow, and it is the weight of unvindicated faithfulness. In the midst of this injustice, you have striven to walk with integrity. You have chosen love when you are met with hate. You have held onto truth when you were surrounded by lies. You have practiced forgiveness when your heart was crying out for vengeance. And you have looked to me, your God, believing that I see your faithfulness, that I honor your choices. But as the injustice has persisted, a painful question is formed. Does it matter? Does my faithfulness count for anything? Is there any reward for choosing the high road when the low road seems to lead to such prosperity for others? This is the sting of feeling that your deepest acts of spiritual courage have gone unnoticed, unrewarded, perhaps even been in vain. They, my child, have been no help in this. They have seen your pain and have offered you the cold comfort of worldly wisdom. Life isn't fair, they have said, as if this should quiet the divine cry for justice in your soul. You just need to let it go and move on. They have advised, not understanding that you cannot truly move on from a wound that is still open, an account that is still so profoundly unsettled. Their words, born of their own discomfort with the reality of injustice, have often felt like a dismissal of your pain, a further invalidation of the truth you have so bravely held. They have urged you to accept a peace that is no peace, a resolution that is no resolution. I have seen you in this place, my beloved, carrying this immense, threefold weight of unacknowledged truth, unanswered injustice, and unvindicated faithfulness. I have witnessed your spirit growing weary under the load. I have seen the temptation to become bitter, to become cynical, to conclude that righteousness is a fool's game in a world where falsehood so often seems to wear the crown. I have felt the profound ache in your soul as you have wrestled with my perceived silence, my apparent inaction. But I tell you a truth that is more real than the pain you have felt, more powerful than the injustice you have endured. My silence has not been indifference. My seeming inaction has not been abandonment. I have been your constant, loving witness. My eyes have been the true ledger, and not a single tear you have shed, not a single act of your faithfulness, not a single detail of the injustice you have suffered has gone unrecorded. I see all, I know all, and I forget nothing. And now, my child, the season is turning. The long period of my apparent silence, which was a time of testing your faith and allowing the full measure of the injustice to be revealed, is coming to its appointed end. The accounts that have seemed so hopelessly unsettled are about to be called due, not by the flawed and limited courts of this world, but by the perfect, absolute, and unerring court of heaven. This is not a time for your fear, but for your profound and peaceful hope. For the reckoning that is at hand is not a chaotic explosion of wrath. It is a divine and meticulous setting of all things right. It is my love, acting as my justice, moving to bring balance, to reveal truth, and to bring about your glorious and long-awaited vindication. The weight you have carried is about to be lifted. My child, for the time of reckoning is upon you. The very nature of this weight has been its secretness, its invisibility to others. You have walked through crowds. You have smiled. You have functioned, all while carrying this crushing burden on the inside. This has been a lonely and heroic endurance. But I have seen the true cost. I have seen the energy it has taken from you, the joy it has stolen, the way it has colored your perception of life, of others, and even of me. The world operates on a system of visible accounts, of tangible evidence. And when the evidence it sees seems to favor the unjust, it declares its verdict. But my accounting system is different. It is based on the truth of the heart, on the intention of the spirit, on the eternal law of sowing and reaping. The accounts you have seen as unsettled have been, in my kingdom, accumulating a divine interest, a spiritual weight that must, by my very nature, eventually be balanced. Do not believe the lie that wrong can ultimately triumph. It cannot. It may have its season, its hour of apparent victory, but it is a hollow victory, built on a foundation of lies, and it cannot stand against the eternal reality of my truth and my justice. The very universe I have created is designed to move towards balance, towards truth, towards righteousness. And the season that is now dawning in your life is a season where you will witness this divine self-correction in a powerful and personal way. The pain you have felt has been real, but it has also been a refining fire, purifying your own heart, clarifying your own motives, deepening your own longing for what is true and right. You have been shaped in this crucible of injustice into a vessel that can now receive and steward a profound new level of my own righteousness and my own peace. So let go of the burden of carrying these accounts yourself. My child, release the need to see justice done according to your own timeline or your own definition. Place the heavy, dog-eared ledger of your grievances into my hands. Trust me to be your perfect advocate, your righteous judge, your loving vindicator. For the time of my action is at hand. The weight is being lifted. The scales are being brought forth. And the time of your reckoning, which is the time of your glorious restoration, is upon you. This feeling of being wrong has created a deep wound in your sense of a just and loving universe. Your healing begins with the understanding that my justice is not the same as human justice. It is slower, deeper, more mysterious, and ultimately far more thorough. It is a justice that not only rights the wrong, but also redeems the suffering, transforming the very pain of the injustice into a source of your future strength and glory. The weight has been immense because you have tried to bear it in your own spirit. But now I invite you to lay it down at my feet. Let me be the one who carries the weight of the unsettled accounts. Let me be the one who bears the burden of ensuring that all things are made right. Your part now is not to strive or to fight, but to stand still, to be at peace, and to watch the salvation, the justice, the vindication of your God unfold in your life. The time for your struggle is over. The time for my reckoning has come. My precious child, having acknowledged with you the immense and crushing weight of the unsettled accounts you have been carrying, having validated the profound pain of living in a world where injustice seems to prevail and your own truth seems to go unheard, I must now reveal to you the sacred and unwavering reality that has been unfolding in the unseen realm. You have feared that the wrongs committed against you have been forgotten, that your tears have vanished into an indifferent sky, that your faithfulness has gone unnoticed. You have believed that the only record of events is the flawed, biased, and often cruel ledger kept by the world. But I tell you a truth that is the very foundation of my coming reckoning. My eyes have been your constant, loving witness. And in my heart, I have kept the true ledger. This ledger, my child, is perfect, incorruptible, and complete. It has missed nothing. And upon its sacred pages, every detail of your trial, every injustice, every tear, and every beautiful act of your faithfulness is recorded in the indelible, eternal ink of my perfect truth. The world's accounting is a flawed and flimsy thing. It is based on appearances, on hearsay, on power, on who can shout the loudest, on who controls the narrative. Its ledgers can be altered, its debts ignored, its credits misapplied. It is a system that so often allows the guilty to walk free and the innocent to bear the burden of a debt that is not their own. You have been a victim of this flawed accounting system, and it has caused you profound pain and a deep sense of cosmic unfairness. But you must understand, my beloved, that the world's ledger is not my ledger. The world's verdict is not my verdict. The coming reckoning will not be based on its faulty records, but on the perfect, comprehensive, and absolutely true ledger that I myself have been keeping with a loving and meticulous hand. Let us open this divine ledger together, my child, so that you may find peace, so that you may release the heavy burden of keeping your own bitter record of wrongs. For I have recorded everything, and my record is just. First, see here in this ledger a page written in an ink that is dark with sorrow, for it is the page that details every injustice that has been committed against you. I have missed nothing. Every lie that was spoken to malign your character, every word that was twisted to misrepresent your intentions, is recorded here in perfect, damning clarity. Every act of betrayal, every broken promise, every stolen opportunity, every moment of deceit, I have seen it all, and it is all written down. The world may have accepted the lie, but I have recorded the truth. Others may have been blind to the betrayal, but my eyes were wide open. This is not a record I keep out of a desire for vengeance, but out of a commitment to ultimate truth and justice. It is my loving validation of your experience. It is my way of saying to you, my child, I saw what they did. I heard what they said. You are not crazy. You are not mistaken. The wrong that was done to you was real, and it has been witnessed by the very eyes of God. To know that the ultimate judge of the universe is also your perfect witness, that he holds the true and undeniable record of the wrongs you have suffered, is the beginnings of your vindication. You no longer have to carry the burden of trying to prove your own case. The evidence is secure. The record is perfect, and it is held in my hands. Turn now to another page in this sacred ledger, a page that is translucent, shimmering, and wet with the very substance of your pain. This, my child, is the page where I have recorded every lonely tear you have shed, just as I have told you before that your tears are the prayers I treasure most. Know that not a single one has been wasted or forgotten. The world may have dismissed your weeping as weakness, but I have collected each tear as a priceless jewel and have recorded its story. I know the tear of profound grief for what was lost. I know the hot tear of frustration at the injustice. I know the silent, chilling tear of loneliness and fear. This ledger records not just the fact of your weeping, but the very emotion, the very prayer, contained within each drop. My record of your sorrow is so perfect, so empathetic, that it holds the very essence of your pain. This is a testament to my profound intimacy with you, my willingness to enter into your suffering with you, and it is a guarantee that in the coming reckoning, your sorrow will be fully accounted for. The comfort I will bring will be perfectly tailored to the pain you have endured, for I have kept a perfect, loving record of its every dimension. You have not wept into a void. You have wept into the very heart of your God, and every tear has been recorded in the sacred ledger of my love. And now, my beloved, look upon this third page, the page that shines with a soft golden light, the page that brings the greatest delight to my heart. For this is the page where I have recorded, with a father's immense pride, every beautiful act of your faithfulness in the midst of your trial, while you may have been focused on your stumbles, while your inner critic may have been tallying your perceived failures. My eyes have been feasting on the incredible beauty of your enduring spirit. Every time you chose grace when your heart wanted to choose bitterness, I recorded it. Every prayer you whispered for those who wronged you, I recorded it. Every moment you chose to trust in my unseen goodness when all evidence pointed to the contrary, I recorded it. Every act of kindness you offered to another, even when your own heart was breaking, I recorded it. Every time you fell and, with my help, chose to get back up, I recorded it. This ledger, my child, is filled with the golden ink of your courage, your resilience, your integrity, your beautiful, tenacious, and heroic faithfulness. You may have believed that these small, quiet acts of goodness were insignificant, unnoticed in the grand scheme of things, but I tell you, they are the things I value most. They are the evidence of the pure gold of your spirit, shining through even in the fiercest fire and in the great reckoning to come. It is this record of your faithfulness that will weigh most heavily upon the scales of divine justice. For my reckoning is not just about righting wrongs. It is about honoring and rewarding the beautiful, courageous love that has been demonstrated by my children in their darkest hours. This, my child, is the true ledger. It is a perfect and complete account, holding the full truth of the injustice, the full depth of your sorrow, and the full glory of your faithfulness. It is a ledger kept not by a dispassionate accountant, but by your loving Father, your righteous judge, your faithful witness. Therefore, you can rest. You can release the heavy burden of keeping your own accounts. You can let go of the need to replay the injustices, to nurse your grievances, to tally your sorrows. For I have it all. I have the perfect record. And because this true ledger exists, the coming reckoning is not a matter of hope, but a matter of divine certainty. It will be based not on the flawed perceptions of the world, but on the absolute, compassionate, and righteous truth that is held, complete and perfect. Within the very heart of your God, the world's ledgers are written in erasable pencil, subject to the whims of power and the erosion of time. My ledger is engraved in the eternal substance of my own being. The world forgets, so I remember always. The world judges superficially. I see with perfect clarity to the very intention of the heart. This is why you need not take matters into your own hands. This is why you can release the corrosive poison of vengeance from your soul. For vengeance is a human attempt to balance a flawed ledger. But my reckoning is a divine act that will bring about a perfect and holy balance. A balance that not only rights the wrong, but also brings healing, restoration, and a peace that is far greater than any satisfaction that could be gained from human revenge. When you feel the weight of the unsettled accounts pressing upon you, I invite you to perform this act of faith consciously. Hand the ledger to me. Say in your heart, Father, I give you this record of wrongs. I trust you to be the keeper of the accounts. I trust you to be my righteous judge. I release the burden of it, and I choose to rest in your perfect justice and your unfailing love. Each time you do this, you will feel a weight lift from your spirit. You will be practicing the art of living from my reality, rather than from the world's flawed and painful one. You are entrusting your cause to the only court in the universe where true and perfect justice is guaranteed. The ledger is true. My child, the judge is loving, and the time of reckoning is at hand. Know that in my ledger, your faithfulness shines with a brilliance that far outweighs the darkness of the injustice you have suffered, the good you have chosen, the love you have shown, the trust you have offered. These are the entries that carry the greatest weight in my kingdom, and it is upon the basis of this beautiful, golden record of your heart that your glorious vindication will be established. You have feared that your story was written only in the dark ink of sorrow and injustice. But I tell you, the most prominent, most beautiful, most enduring ink upon the pages of your life's true ledger is the golden ink of your own courageous, beautiful, and celebrated faithfulness. My precious child, now that you have rested in the assurance that my eyes have kept the true and perfect ledger of your life, that every injustice, every tear, and every act of your beautiful faithfulness has been recorded in my heart. Let us now speak of the season that is dawning, for I have declared to you that the time of reckoning is upon you. And I know, my child, that this word, reckoning, can strike a chord of fear in the human heart. It can conjure images of wrath, of vengeance, of a harsh and unforgiving retribution. The world has taught you a definition of reckoning that is born of its own brokenness, its own cycles of hurt and retaliation. But I must erase that definition from your mind and replace it with the glorious, holy truth of my ways. For the divine reckoning I bring is not born of anger, but of love. Its purpose is not punitive destruction, but divine restoration. It is the great and beautiful rebalancing of all things, the time when my truth comes to light. My justice brings a holy order, and my love tenderly, powerfully restores to you all that was lost or stolen. This is not a time for your fear. My beloved, it is the time of your long-awaited salvation. You must understand the fundamental difference between human revenge and my divine reckoning. Human revenge is a bitter and poisoned well. It seeks to inflict pain for pain, to answer a wound with another wound, and in doing so, it only perpetuates the cycle of darkness, ensnaring both the victim and the perpetrator in an endless loop of bitterness. It is a work of the ego, seeking its own satisfaction, and it never leads to true peace or lasting wholeness. But my reckoning flows from an entirely different source. Its source is my own perfect, holy nature, which is love and justice, perfectly intertwined. It does not seek to inflict pain, but to end it. It does not seek to perpetuate a cycle, but to break it with the finality of divine truth. Its ultimate goal is not the punishment of the wrongdoer, but the glorious restoration and vindication of my beloved child who was wronged. My focus in this reckoning, my child, is entirely on you. Let us explore the beautiful nature of this divine reckoning. Firstly, it is a divine rebalancing of the scales. The injustice you have endured created a profound imbalance in the spiritual atmosphere of your life. The scales were tipped, with falsehood and wrong on one side appearing heavy and victorious, while your truth and your faithfulness on the other side seemed light and insignificant. This cosmic imbalance is an affront to my very nature, for I am a God of perfect order, of harmony, of righteousness. The time of reckoning is the season when I, with my own hand, step forward to steady those scales. I begin to place the true weights upon them. I place upon your side the immense weight of your silent tears, the profound substance of your unwavering faithfulness, the undeniable reality of my own promises to you, and I reveal the true nature of what was on the other side, the insubstantial lightness of lies, the hollowness of deceit, the ultimate inconsequence of all that is not rooted in truth. And the world, and you, will watch in awe as the scales of your life begin to move, slowly at first, but then surely, inexorably, back into a state of beautiful, divine, and perfect balance. This is not about a crude reversal of fortunes, but a profound restoration of a holy and righteous order in your life. Secondly, my reckoning is a glorious revelation of truth. The injustice you have suffered has thrived in the darkness, in the shadows of deceit, of misunderstanding, of misrepresentation. The lie has had its hour, but I am the God of light, and in my being, there's no darkness at all. And the time of reckoning is the time when I command my light to shine. This is not a harsh, interrogating spotlight designed to humiliate, but the gentle, inexorable light of the dawn, which, by its very nature, causes the shadows of the night to flee. In this season, the truth of what happened will be made known, not necessarily in a worldly court of law, but in the higher court of spiritual reality. The lies that were spoken against you will be revealed as the empty, powerless things they are, the integrity of your character, the purity of your motives, the truth of your faithfulness. These will be illuminated for all with eyes to see. This revelation may not be loud or dramatic. It may come as a quiet dawning of understanding in the hearts of others, a subtle shifting of perceptions, or, most importantly, as a profound and unshakable knowing within your own heart, freeing you forever from the sting of having been misunderstood or maligned. The truth will be made manifest, and that truth, my child, will set you free. The very heart of my divine reckoning is the work of loving restoration. The world's justice often focuses only on punishing the offender. My justice is always focused on restoring the one who was wounded. Mine eyes are upon you, my beloved, and upon all that was lost, stolen, or damaged during your season of trial. And the time of reckoning is the time when I begin to restore it all to you, not just in its original form, but in a measure that is pressed down, shaken together, and running over with my grace. The peace that was stolen from you by the turmoil of the injustice, I am restoring it to you now as a deeper, more resilient peace that cannot be so easily shaken. The joy that was diminished by your sorrow, I am restoring it to you now as a more profound, more grateful joy, born of your deliverance. The honor that was maligned by the lies of others, I am restoring it to you now by clothing you in the radiant garment of my own approval, which is the only honor that truly matters. The opportunities that may have been lost due to the injustice, I am now opening new doors for you, doors that lead to even more glorious, more purposeful destinations than the ones that were closed. This is not just a balancing of the books. It is a divine multiplication of blessings, a testament to my power to take what the enemy meant for your harm and to turn it into your greatest good. And all of this culminates in your glorious vindication. To vindicate means to clear someone of blame or suspicion, to show that they are right or justified. This, my child, is my ultimate purpose in this reckoning. It is my public declaration before all of heaven and any on earth who have eyes to see, of your faithfulness, of your integrity, of your preciousness to me. It is me, your God, standing as your advocate, your champion, your defender. Your vindication is not about you proving yourself right. It is about you resting while I demonstrate your righteousness, a righteousness that is not your own, but my gift to you. This is why this time of reckoning should not be feared, but welcomed with a hopeful and peaceful heart. It is the season of your salvation, the day of your deliverance. It is my love for you, taking action. It is my justice for you, bringing order. It is my power for you, restoring all things. Let go of any desire for human revenge, my child, for it is a far too small and bitter thing compared to the magnificent, life-giving, and holy restoration that my divine reckoning will bring. Stand still and see the salvation, the justice, the vindication of your God. For its time is now upon you. The nature of this reckoning is one of divine precision. I am not a God who acts with a broad, clumsy stroke. Every detail of your situation is known to me. Every nuance of the injustice recorded in my heart. And my response will be equally precise, perfectly tailored to bring about the most complete healing, the most beautiful restoration, the most glorious vindication possible for you. Trust in my skill. My beloved, the master of the universe, is a master of detail, and your case has my full, undivided, and loving attention. This process will also free you. It will free you from the burden of carrying your own case, of feeling you must constantly defend or explain yourself. It will free you from the corrosive poison of bitterness, which has been eating away at your own soul. It will free you to move forward into your future, unencumbered by the unresolved injustices of your past. My reckoning is not just a settling of old accounts. It is a profound liberation of your spirit into a new and glorious freedom, and it will be beautiful to behold. When my light of truth begins to shine, when the scales of justice begin to visibly turn, when the fruits of my restoration begin to blossom in your life, it will be a source of wonder and awe. Your life will become a testament to my character, a story that declares to all that I am a God who sees, who cares, who remembers, and who, in my own perfect time, makes all things right. This is the nature of my divine reckoning. It is my love in action, my justice in motion, and it is all for you, my precious child. Now that your heart has begun to grasp the true nature of my divine reckoning, that it is not an act of vengeance, but one of loving restoration, of divine rebalancing, of your ultimate and glorious vindication. Let us now pull back the veil on the long, quiet, and often perplexing season that has preceded this moment. You have endured a time of my apparent silence, of seeming inaction, where the scales of justice remain stubbornly tipped against you. And you may have wondered why I have waited so long to intervene, but I want to reveal to you now the profound and intricate work that has been unfolding in the unseen realm. For this time of reckoning does not arrive as a sudden, impulsive reaction on my part. It is the culmination of a long and meticulous process, a period of my active, though often hidden, work of setting the scales. While you have been faithfully enduring, my beloved, I have been moving the very pieces of heaven and earth, preparing the hearts of all involved, and setting the stage with divine precision, so that when my truth and my justice are finally revealed, they will be revealed in their perfect time and with an undeniable, transformative power. Think of a master strategist, a grandmaster of a celestial game, who sees the entire board with a single, all-encompassing gaze. A novice player sees only the immediate threat, the current disadvantage, and may cry out in despair. But the grandmaster sees 20 moves ahead. They are not idle. They are engaged in a process of profound and subtle positioning. A seemingly insignificant move on one side of the board, a quiet sacrifice, a patient repositioning of a piece. All are part of an intricate, overarching strategy that is inexorably leading towards a brilliant and certain victory. So it has been with me in the circumstances of your life. My child, what has felt to you like a long and painful stalemate has been, in my loving wisdom, a period of my masterful orchestration of events. While you were focused on the immediate injustice, I was at work on a far grander scale, subtly moving seemingly unrelated circumstances, influencing distant events, all with the intention of bringing them to a perfect convergence at your appointed time of reckoning. A door that closed for you here was part of my process of opening a far more glorious door for you there. A person who was removed from your life was making way for another, more vital connection to be formed. An opportunity that was denied you was part of my plan to bring you something infinitely better, for which you were not yet prepared. You have seen only the confusing individual moves on the board. I have been executing a flawless and victorious strategy. Trust, my child, that every seemingly random event, every perplexing delay, has been a purposeful move by my sovereign hand, setting the stage for your vindication. Part of this unseen setting of the scales has also involved my deep and quiet work of preparing the hearts of all involved. My primary focus, of course, has been on you, my beloved. This long season of enduring injustice has not been wasted time. It has been a sacred crucible for your own character. I have been using this time to forge within you a strength, a patience, a humility, and a grace that you will need to carry your coming victory without pride, to receive your vindication without a spirit of vengeance. I have been strengthening your foundations so that when I finally lift you up, you will stand upon a high place with stability and with a deep, compassionate wisdom. Had I vindicated you too soon, before this inner work was complete, the victory itself might have become a stumbling block to your own spirit. My delay has been a testament to my commitment to your holiness, to your becoming a vessel that can not only receive my blessing, but can steward it with beauty and grace. And yes, my child, my work has also extended to the hearts of those who have wronged you. My justice is always preceded by my mercy. In my silence, I have given them space and opportunity to see their own error, to feel the conviction of my spirit, to turn and to repent. My love extends even to those who have wounded my children, and I have patiently, lovingly offered them chances for their own healing, their own restoration. In some cases, my grace has worked, and hearts have been softened, preparing them to participate in the coming restoration. In other cases, hearts have hardened, and in their refusal to yield to my truth, they have unwittingly participated in my plan by more fully revealing the very nature of the injustice, making the need for my reckoning all the more clear and undeniable. My work in every heart, though often hidden, has been a crucial part of setting the stage for a just and perfect resolution. And finally, my beloved, this unseen work has been about perfecting the divine timing. In your pain, you have longed for an immediate resolution, but my wisdom operates on an eternal timetable, and I know the kairos, the perfect, opportune moment for every divine act. To act too soon would be to diminish the impact, to short-circuit the deeper purposes of the trial. I have been waiting for the perfect moment when the revelation of my truth would have its greatest effect, when your vindication would shine most brightly, when the restoration I bring would be most deeply received and cherished by you. This perfecting of the timing is like a master farmer waiting for the precise moment to harvest a precious crop. They watch the sun, they test the soil, they feel the air. To harvest too early would be to reap a fruit that is unripe and bitter. To harvest too late would be to risk spoilage. The farmer waits for that perfect, grace-filled moment when the fruit is at its absolute peak of sweetness and perfection. So I have been waiting, my child, not in idleness, but in a state of active, watchful patience, for the perfect moment to bring in the harvest of your vindication. Your long wait has been allowing the fruit of your destiny to ripen to a sweetness, a glory, that will be worth every moment of the delay. This is the unseen work of my love, my child, the secret setting of the scales that has been unfolding behind the veil of your trial. It has been a work of masterful orchestration, of profound heart preparation, and of perfect, patient timing. You have felt you were in a static, unjust state, but you have been, in reality, at the very center of a dynamic, purposeful, and divinely significant process. So when you remember this long season of your suffering, do not see it as a time when I was absent or when justice had failed. See it as a quiet, backstage work of a grand playwright, meticulously arranging every actor, every prop, every light. For the magnificent final act, see it as a slow, silent movement of great celestial gears, all being brought into perfect alignment by the hand of the divine engineer. See it as a testament to the profound depth and seriousness with which I approach your cause. My love for you is so great that I would not settle for a rush or imperfect victory. I have taken the time, I have done the hidden work to ensure that the reckoning that is now upon you will be a thing of breathtaking beauty, of undeniable power, and of perfect, eternal justice. All things are now ready. The scales have been set, and the time for their balancing is at hand. The complexity of my work is far beyond your human comprehension. You see only your own life, your own pain, but I see how your story is interwoven with countless others, how the resolution of your injustice is connected to the growth in the destiny of men. My setting of the scales has been a cosmic work, a weaving of countless threads into a single, beautiful, and just design. Your trust in me during this time, your willingness to wait without understanding, has been a beautiful act of faith that has allowed me the freedom to perform this complex and far-reaching work without hindrance. Every moment of your patient endurance has been a holy cooperation with this unseen preparation. Every time you chose to believe in my goodness over the appearance of injustice, you were adding your own energy to the divine rebalancing. You have not been a passive victim in this process. You have been my honored partner, my faithful child, whose trust had provided the very atmosphere in which my work could be brought to its perfect completion. The world may be surprised by the suddenness of the shift that is coming, but you and I will know the truth. It is not sudden at all. It is the result of a long, patient, and meticulous preparation, a secret setting of the scales that has been unfolding, day by day, moment by moment, in the hidden workshop of my love. The foundation has been laid. The time is ripe, and the glorious, just, and loving reckoning of your God is about to be revealed. My precious child, having understood that the long season of my apparent silence was, in fact, a time of your most active and loving preparation, a period where my unseen hand was meticulously setting the scales of divine justice on your behalf. The time has now come for the first tangible effects of this hidden work to be felt. The foundation has been laid. The hearts have been prepared. The timing perfected. And now, my beloved, you are invited to become aware of the first, subtle yet undeniable, tremors of a coming justice. These are the initial signs that the great rebalancing has begun, that the divine reckoning is at hand. You may perceive them as small truths coming to light, as a subtle weakening of the opposition that has stood against you, and most profoundly, as a new and unshakable sense of strength and vindication rising within your own spirit. These are the heralds of your restoration, the first ripples that signal the turning of a mighty tide in your favor. Do not expect this reckoning to begin with a sudden, earth-shattering quake that brings all falsehoods crashing down at once. My justice often unfolds with a quiet, inexorable power, like the slow, powerful movement of tectonic plates deep within the earth. The first signs are often small tremors, subtle shifts that may be missed by the unattuned, but which are profoundly significant to the heart that has been waiting and watching in faith. I invite you now to become a discerning observer of these sacred signs, for in their recognition, your hope will become a fiery certainty, and your spirit will be filled with a new and peaceful confidence in me, your righteous vindicator. Perhaps one of the first tremors you will feel is a tremor of revealed truth. For so long, you have lived under the heavy weight of a prevailing lie, a falsehood that has misrepresented you, maligned you, or denied the reality of the injustice you have suffered. But now, you may begin to see small, brilliant cracks of truth appearing in the solid wall of deceit. It may not be a grand, public confession from those who wronged you. It may be something far more subtle. Perhaps a single person whose opinion matters will come to you and say, I see now that I misunderstood. I see the truth of what you have been through. Or perhaps a small piece of evidence will surface that quietly, undeniably, refutes the old lie. Or you may simply notice that the lie itself, when you hear it repeated, no longer has the power to wound you, for its falsehood has become transparently clear in the light of my truth that now dawns in your own heart. Each of these small victories for truth is a tremor, a sign that the foundations of the falsehood that has stood against you are beginning to crumble. Look also for the tremor of shifting power. In the past, those who wronged you may have seemed to stand on unshakable ground, their position secure, their influence strong, their confidence absolute. They may have moved through the world with an air of impunity, seemingly untouched by the consequences of their actions. But now, as the divine reckoning begins, you may start to notice a subtle shift in this dynamic. Their confident facade may begin to show small cracks. A plan of theirs may unexpectedly fail. An alliance they depended on may begin to weaken. Their influence may subtly wane. You will see this not with a spirit of vengeful glee, my child, for that is not your way, but with a quiet, sober recognition that the scales are indeed beginning to turn. This is not your doing. It is mine. It is the natural consequence of a structure built on injustice beginning to feel the first tremors of my divine rebalancing. The ground beneath their feet, which once seemed so solid, is now beginning to feel the effects of my holy and righteous judgment. And most profoundly of all, my beloved, you will feel the tremor of your own inner vindication. This is perhaps the most important sign of all, for it is the one that happens within you, and it is the true beginning of your liberation. Before any outward restoration of your honor, you will begin to feel it restored within your own soul. The old, heavy garments of shame, of self-doubt, of feeling like a victim, will begin to fall away. In their place, a new and powerful sense of your own integrity, your own worth, your own rightness in my eyes will begin to rise up within you. This is not an arrogant pride, but a quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from your deep, intimate communion with me. You will know, with a certainty that no one can take from you, that I am for you, that I see your faithfulness, that I honor your heart. This inner sense of vindication is a mighty fortress, a place of profound peace, from which you can calmly watch the outworking of my justice in the world around you. This is my spirit, affirming your spirit, lifting your head, and clothing you in a garment of divine honor long before the world sees it. And as these tremors are felt, you will experience a renewed and tangible hope. The hope you held on to during the long wait was a courageous hope, a hope of pure faith. But the hope that now begins to dawn is a hope fed by evidence, a hope that has seen the first signs of the coming victory. It is a hope that is buoyant, that is joyful, that is filled with a new and eager anticipation. It is the hope of a prisoner who has felt the first tremor shake their cell walls and knows that the liberating army is near. It is the hope of a farmer who has seen the first dark clouds gather after a long drought and knows that the life-giving rain is coming. This hope will become a new strength within you, enabling you to stand with a peaceful and expectant heart as you watch the full measure of my reckoning unfold. These tremors, my child, are my loving signals to you. They are my way of saying, be still now. The time for your struggle is over. The time for my work has begun. Watch, and you will see the salvation of your God. Your part now is not to fight, not to strive, not to seek your own vengeance. Your part is to stand in quiet faith, to hold your peace, and to allow me, your champion, to fight for you. When you notice these signs, do not become agitated or anxious. Receive them with a calm and grateful heart. See them as the sacred harbingers they are. Each small truth that is revealed, each subtle weakening of the opposition, each new surge of your own inner strength, these are the initial movements of a divine earthquake of justice that will ultimately set all things right. You have trusted me in the long silence, in the painful waiting. Now trust me in the beginnings of my action. Trust that my justice is perfect, that my wisdom is unerring, that my love is the guiding force behind this entire process. The time of your weeping and endurance is giving way to a time of your quiet, awestruck observation of my power at work on your behalf. The scales are turning, the foundations of falsehood are shaken, and the first tremors over your glorious and complete vindication are now being felt. The time of reckoning is indeed upon you. The world may not notice these first tremors. They are often too subtle for the unattuned eye. The shift in power may be a private matter. The revealed truth may be known only to a few key individuals. But you will know, and I will know. And in the shared, secret knowing, our intimacy will deepen. You will feel as though you are a privileged observer, watching from the inner council of my heart as my divine plan unfolds. This is a time of profound validation for your faith. Every moment you trusted me, every time you chose to believe in my justice when it was unseen, is now being honored, being proven right. This will build within you a confidence in my ways that will be your strength for all your future days. You are learning through direct experience that I am a God who sees, who remembers, and who acts. The feeling of powerlessness that has plagued you for so long will begin to recede, replaced not by your own power, but by a joyful confidence in my power. You will understand that true power lies not in human effort, but in alignment with my will, in resting in my justice. This is a liberating and peaceful discovery. Do not be tempted to rush the process or to try to help me. My work is perfect and needs no human assistance. Your most powerful cooperation now is your stillness, your trust, your peaceful expectation. As you stand in this quiet faith, you create the perfect atmosphere for my justice to move unimpeded, to accomplish its work fully and beautifully. The tremors are but the beginning. The full, landscape-altering earthquake of my grace and my justice is on its way, and it will bring about a restoration and a vindication for you that is more complete and more glorious than you have yet dared to ask. My precious child, as you begin to feel the first sacred tremors of the coming justice, as the initial signs of my divine reckoning confirm that the long season of your endurance is shifting into a new season of my action, I now invite you into the most powerful and courageous posture your heart can assume for your human instinct. Having been wounded by injustice, may now be to rise up and to fight, to seek your own vengeance, to personally ensure that the accounts are settled. You may feel a surge of energy, a desire to finally take matters into your own hands. But I, your loving God, your righteous champion, call you now to a different, higher, and infinitely more powerful way. Your part in this time of reckoning, my beloved, is to learn the holy art of standing still to see my salvation. It is to consciously resist the very human urge for personal vengeance. to place your complete trust in me as your perfect vindicator, and to hold your peace, knowing that the battle is no longer yours, but mine. This is perhaps the most profound test of your refined faith. My child, for the world teaches you that to be still in the face of injustice is to be weak, to be passive, to be a victim. It screams for retaliation, for self-defense, for a loud and public settling of scores. But my kingdom operates on a divine paradox in the sacred season. Your stillness is your greatest strength. Your silence, your most powerful weapon. Your trust, your most decisive action. For your stillness creates the clear, unobstructed space in which my own omnipotent power can move most freely, most perfectly, to bring about a justice and a restoration far greater than anything your own hands could ever achieve. Let us speak first of the holy act of resisting the urge for vengeance. The desire for retribution is a natural human response to being deeply wronged. It is born of a righteous anger, a longing for the offender to feel the same pain they have inflicted. But this path, my child, is a trap, is a poisoned well from which you must not drink, for the spirit of vengeance, once indulged, does not heal the wound, it infects it. It does not restore your peace. It enchains your own heart to the very person and the very event that caused you such pain, binding you together in a bitter, unending cycle of resentment. To seek revenge is to allow your enemy to occupy a permanent, rent-free space within your own soul, to give them ongoing power over your emotional and spiritual well-being. I call you to a higher, more liberating path. I invite you now to consciously, deliberately, as a supreme act of your will, to release your offenders into my hands. This is not about condoning their actions. It is not about pretending the wrong was not a wrong. It is about trusting that I am the only one who can handle the case with perfect justice and perfect wisdom. It is you, the plaintiff, stepping back from the judge's bench and allowing the one true judge of all the universe to preside. It is the prayer of the heart that says, Father, the debt they owe me, I now assign to you. The judgment they deserve, I now entrust to you. I release them from my own heart, and I place them fully, completely, into yours. This act of release, my child, is the key that unlocks your own prison. It is how you take back your own power, how you cleanse your own soul of the corrosive poison of bitterness, and how you make your heart a free and open space to receive the beautiful, clean, and joyful vindication that I am preparing for you. Secondly, I invite you to consciously trust me to be your perfect vindicator. This is more than just a passive hope. It is an active, moment-by-moment choice to place your confidence in my character, my power, and my love for you. It is to believe, with a faith forged in the fire of your trial, that I see everything, that I have forgotten nothing, and that my resolution of this matter will be utterly perfect, wise, and for your ultimate, glorious good. This means that when your mind is tempted to worry about the situation, to fret over the details, to strategize how justice might be achieved, you can instead bring those thoughts to me. You can say, I trust you with this. I do not need to figure it out. You are my vindicator, and your wisdom is perfect. When you see your offenders seemingly prospering, and your heart feels that old sting of injustice, you can bring that feeling to me and say, I trust your timing, I know that your scales are true, and that in your perfect way, all will be balanced. This conscious entrusting of your cause to me is a profound act of worship. It honors my sovereignty, it affirms my goodness, and it positions you in a place of profound peace, allowing you to watch my salvation unfold without the agitation of fear or doubt. And finally, my child, your sacred role in this season is to stand still and watch with the eyes of faith. Imagine you are standing upon a great, unshakable rock, while a mighty, cleansing river of my justice begins to flow through the valley below. Your safety is not in trying to direct the river, nor in jumping into the turbulent waters to fight. Your safety, your victory, is in remaining still upon the rock that is my faithfulness, and watching with awe as my power does its perfect work. Your role is not that of a soldier in this battle, but that of the beloved child of the King, for whom the King himself has gone to war. To stand still means to cease your own striving, your own frantic efforts to make things right. It means to quiet your own spirit, to hold your own peace, to refuse to be drawn into the fray of accusation, of defense, of gossip, of debate. You have already presented your case to me in the quiet of your heart. The ledger is true. The evidence has been received. And now, the verdict and its execution are mine alone. Your stillness is a testament to your faith in your divine champion. It is a powerful, silent declaration to all of heaven and earth that you know that your Redeemer lives, and that he will surely stand upon the earth on your behalf. This posture of quiet, trust-filled observation will be a profound mystery to the world. They will not understand your peace in the face of unresolved injustice. They will not comprehend your lack of bitterness, your refusal to engage in vengeance, and your very serenity. Your quiet confidence in me will be a more powerful testament to your rightness, a more glorious vindication of your character than any angry words or defensive actions could ever be. You will win this battle not by fighting, but by resting in the one who has already won it for you. This is a profound and mature spiritual discipline. My child, and it is the very thing for which your long journey through the valley has prepared you. You have learned resilience. You have learned patience. You have learned humility. You have learned that your true strength is not in your own action, but in your reliance on me. And now, you are invited to put all these lessons into practice. So when you are tempted to act, be still. When you are tempted to speak in your own defense, hold your peace. When you are tempted to take up the cause of your own vengeance, lay it down at my feet and watch, my beloved, watch with a heart full of wonder and of praise. For the time of reckoning is upon you. And as you stand still in faith, you are about to witness the glorious, triumphant, and perfect salvation of your God. The stillness I call you to is not an empty, anxious stillness. It is a pregnant stillness, filled with the power and the presence of my Spirit. It is the stillness of the eye of the storm, a place of profound calm and clarity, even as the winds of my justice begin to move in the world around you. By choosing to abide in this stillness, you are choosing to abide in me, to align yourself with my victorious peace, and to remove yourself from the chaotic backlash of the rebalancing that is taking place. Resisting the urge for vengeance is also an act of profound self-love. It is a refusal to allow the poison of another's actions to contaminate your own beautiful, refined spirit. It is a choice to keep your own heart clean, your own hands free, so that you can receive the pure blessings I am about to pour into your life without any bitterness to taint their sweetness. My reckoning brings freedom, not only from the injustice, but also from the burden of hating the one who caused it. Trusting me as your vindicator is the ultimate act of faith. It is saying, my sense of worth, my honor, my future are not in the hands of those who wrong me, nor even in my own hands. They are in the hands of my loving God, and there's no safer place in all the universe for them to be. This trust is the key that unlocks the storehouses of my grace, that empowers me to act on your behalf with an overwhelming and glorious power. So be at peace, my child. The season of your struggle is over. The season of my salvation has begun. Your part is simple, though it requires great faith. Stand still, be silent, and watch me work. For the victory I will win for you will be so complete, so beautiful, so filled with my wisdom and my love, that you will be glad for all your days that you chose to entrust your cause completely and utterly to me, my precious and beloved child. As you have so courageously learned to stand still in faith, as you have released the bitter desire for vengeance and have placed the entire cause of your life into my loving and capable hands, the time of my divine reckoning now unfolds into its most glorious and beautiful expression. The unseen setting of the scales is complete. The stage is perfectly prepared. And now, the curtain rises on the day of your glorious vindication. This is the moment, my child, for which your faithful heart has longed. It is the time when your honor is restored, when your name is cleared in the light of my truth, when the peace and joy that were stolen from you are returned in a measure beyond your imagining, and when your very life becomes a luminous testament to my perfect justice and my redeeming, everlasting love. The season of bearing the heavy weight of unsettled accounts is over. Now begins the season of your liberation, your restoration, your celebration. As my reckoning unfolds, you will witness the beautiful, systematic righting of all that has been wrong, the divine reordering of your world according to the perfect principles of my kingdom. Behold, my child, the glorious restoration of your honor. For so long, your name may have been maligned, your character misunderstood, your integrity questioned. You have carried the painful sting of a reputation that did not reflect the truth of your heart. But now, in the season of reckoning, I am your vindicator, and I will restore your good name. This may not happen in a loud, worldly court of law, but in a way that is far more profound and lasting. The lies that were spoken against you will begin to lose their power, to crumble into dust under the weight of my truth. People whose opinions once mattered, who were once deceived by the falsehood, may have their eyes opened with a sudden clarity, or perhaps, more simply, you will find that their opinions no longer matter to you at all, for your honor is now securely rooted in my unwavering approval, which is the only judgment of any eternal consequence. You will be clothed in a new garment, a robe of righteousness and honor bestowed by my own hand, and in its radiant beauty. All the old stains of false accusation will simply disappear. Your integrity, which you maintained so faithfully in secret, will now be openly revealed by the very quality of the beautiful, grace-filled life you begin to live. Witness also how the truth of your story is made clear. The confusing fog of misrepresentation and deceit that has surrounded your situation now begins to lift, dispersed by the undeniable light of my spirit. The truth becomes self-evident. The complex knots of falsehood, which you could never untangle on your own, are now being gently, skillfully unraveled by my hand. What was done in darkness is being brought into the light, not necessarily for the purpose of shaming others, but for the purpose of liberating you, of setting the record straight in the hearts and minds where it truly matters. You will no longer feel the exhausting need to explain, to defend, to justify yourself. Your life itself, in its restored beauty and peace, will become the only explanation necessary. My truth will be your silent, powerful advocate, and its victory is absolute. And oh, my beloved, prepare your heart to receive the bountiful return of your stolen peace and joy. The injustice you endured was a thief that robbed you of your inner tranquility, that plundered the storehouses of your joy, leaving you feeling spiritually impoverished. But I am a God of restoration, and the time of reckoning is the time when I command the thief to return what was stolen, not just in its original measure, but sevenfold, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The peace that now begins to flow into your life will be a deeper, more resilient peace than you have ever known, for it is a peace that has been tested and has proven its anchor in me. The joy that returns will be a more profound, more grateful joy. A joy that knows the value of light because it has intimately known the darkness. I am not just returning what was lost. I am bestowing upon you a new capacity for peace and joy that has been carved out by the very emptiness your sorrow created. Your entire life, my child, now becomes a living testament to my perfect justice and my redeeming love. You are emerging from this trial not as a bitter victim, but as a luminous victor. You are not scarred by a desire for revenge, but are filled with a new and beautiful compassion, even for those who have wronged you, for you have left their case entirely in my hands. Your story, which once seemed to be a tragedy of injustice, is now transformed into a glorious epic of divine vindication. And this story will be a source of immense hope and encouragement for others. They will look upon you and see that it is possible to endure great wrong and not become bitter. They will see that it is possible to trust in a silent God and not be ultimately disappointed. They will see that my justice, though it may seem slow by human standards, is absolutely certain, perfectly wise, and beautifully, redemptively restorative. Imagine a king who discovers that one of his most faithful and beloved servants has been wrongly accused, stripped of their honor, and cast into prison. And after a long period of investigation, the king, with great love and righteous anger at the injustice, comes personally to the prison, throws open the doors, and brings his servant out into the full light of the court. He not only declares their innocence before all, but he strips the garments of their shame, clothes them in robes of honor, restores to them all that was lost, and elevates them to an even higher position of trust and authority than they held before. This, my child, is what I am doing for you now. This is the day of your glorious vindication. So stand still no longer in fearful waiting, but in joyful, awestruck anticipation. The work is mine. The victory is yours. The glory is ours together. The accounts are being settled. The truth is being revealed. Your honor is being restored, and your heart, for so long burdened by the weight of injustice, is now being filled to overflowing with the beautiful, liberating, and triumphant peace of your loving and righteous God. The time of reckoning has come, and it is the day of your most glorious salvation. This vindication is my gift to you, a reward for your beautiful faithfulness in standing still and trusting me, while you rested in my promise. I was at work on your behalf, moving in ways you could not see, preparing this very moment of your restoration. Your trust created the very space in which my justice could operate most perfectly. The peace you feel now is not a fragile truce. It is a victor's peace, a peace that has been won for you by your divine champion. The joy that is dawning is not a temporary happiness. It is the deep, resonant joy of a soul that has seen the faithfulness of its God made gloriously manifest. The honor you now carry is not the fleeting approval of men, but the eternal, weighty glory of my own good pleasure in you. Let this experience transform your understanding of justice forever. Let it teach you that the highest path is always to entrust your cause to me, to release all bitterness, and to wait in peaceful confidence for my perfect work to be done. You have learned this lesson in the deepest, most difficult classroom, and the wisdom you have gained is a priceless treasure. Your life story is now a testament that will be read by many. It will be a story that declares that no injustice is so great that my justice cannot overcome it, that no lie is so powerful that my truth cannot expose it, and that no sorrow is so deep that my love cannot redeem it and transform it into a source of glorious vindication. This is your story. This is my story in you. And it is a story of magnificent, triumphant victory. As you walk forward in this new season, you would do so with a new authority, a new confidence. It is the quiet authority of one who has been personally vindicated by God, the serene confidence of one who knows that the judge of all the universe is their loving Father and their fierce defender. This will change how you move in the world, how you relate to others, how you face future challenges. You are no longer one who hopes for justice. You are one who has embodied it, who has experienced its transformative power. This day of your glorious vindication is the closing of a long and painful chapter and the opening of a new one, filled with light, with peace, with purpose, and with the joy of a life fully restored and honored by its Creator. Welcome to your new day, my beloved. It has been long in coming, but it has arrived in the perfection of my timing and the fullness of my love. As the gentle light of your new, vindicated dawn now settles upon the landscape of your soul, my cherished child, let the profound peace of this divine resolution be your constant and abiding reality. The long and painful season of enduring injustice, of carrying the weight of unsettled accounts, is over. Its purpose has been fulfilled. Its lessons have been learned. and its outcome is glorious. You have stood still in faith. You have resisted the poison of vengeance, and you have trusted me to be your champion. And now you have seen my salvation. You have seen how my love acts as my justice, bringing not destruction, but a beautiful, holy, and complete restoration. Rest now in your restored honor. My beloved, live from the freedom of your cleared name, and let your heart be filled to overflowing with the peace and the joy that have been returned to you in a measure more abundant than you ever thought possible. You are seen, you are honored, you are vindicated, and you are eternally held in the loving, righteous, and victorious embrace of your God.